Kari Lake gets her day in court, and she brings the receipts. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Declaration of Truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. The Twitter files seem to have taken a break yesterday, but another equally important case came to trial. In Lake versus Hobbs, Richer et al., candidate Kari Lake contests the certification of the governor's race in Arizona. Lake lost that race by 17,177 votes. Yesterday, trial began in the case, and Kari Lake and her legal team developed evidence strongly suggesting intentional ballot tampering throughout Maricopa County. Unless the defense can explain these findings, the judge might have to call a new election, at least. Before I break all that down, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. Be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there. Especially this t-shirt that I have chosen for today, which reads, "Do not bear false witness." As some people, at least one person did yesterday and got caught at it. One more thing. If you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also click the bell icon to get a notice every time I come up with a new one. In fact, do you see the new icon, the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the super thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do, so long as it's legal tender. I covered the Kari Lake election contest last week, along with the case of Brunson versus Adams, now set for a SCOTUS conference. Before then, I reported on the election itself, which was an inexcusable disaster. At least 59% of scanner tabulators could not tabulate ballots that officers of election fed to them. Precinct chiefs then told voters to vote at other locations. And when they got there, those precinct chiefs told them they'd already voted. I have a link in the description to a tweet by Mr. Cheney reporting that interesting fact. It's the same one I shared with you 8 days ago. The Kari Lake campaign sued the Maricopa County Elections Board and asked the judge to extend voting hours. The judge declined. Still, Katie Hobbs won by a comparatively slim margin. Nevertheless, she certified her own election, whereupon Kari Lake filed an immediate election contest. I have a link in the description to the official version of the complaint on record at the Maricopa County Court Clerk's office. This 70-page complaint lists 10 allegations against Maricopa County, where half the people in Arizona live. On Monday, Judge Peter Thompson dismissed 8 of the 10 counts. He said that even if they were true, they did not meet the legal criteria for an election contest. But 2 counts remain, and on the basis of those 2, the judge moved the case to trial. They were scanner tabulators not working at about 60% of precincts, and nearly 300,000 ballots arriving at a central counting center without a chain of custody. First day of the trial took more than 4.5 hours. The Fox station in the Phoenix market, Channel 10 I believe, carried it live. I have links in the description to 2 separate videos that between them have the first day of the trial. Judge Thompson had set a high bar, probably because Lake actually prayed that the court declare her the winner. She would have to prove not merely the possibility, but a fact that those 2 flaws affected the election outcome. Not only that, but she must prove that those flaws happened not by accident, but by intent. In yesterday's session, testimony revealed why those scanner tabulators did not work. Wrong size ballots! This came out in expert testimony by a witness who examined 3 samples of 50 paper ballots each. About 42% of the ballots for Election Day. In his Election Day sample were 19-inch ballots printed on 20-inch paper. I have a link in the description to a tweet containing photographs of a 20-inch ballot and a 19-inch ballot printed on 20-inch paper. You can see right away what's wrong with the misprinted ballot. Now, before I tell you what that is, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is OurSilverLines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You're not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Now, whether you just want to collect rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities this company provides, either way, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit OurSilverLines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. Now, you want to know what's wrong with that misprinted ballot? It has outsized top and bottom margins. But that doesn't tell half the problem. Notice that each ballot has rows of rectangles on it. A ballot scanner, like a standardized test answer sheet scanner, uses those rectangles to align an image for interpretation. If those rectangles are out of position, the scanner rejects the ballot. So when someone inserts a 20-inch sheet, the scanner expects the rectangles to align in a certain way, and they were out of alignment because someone shipped ballots printed on the wrong size of paper. Now, that doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intent. I have a link in the description to a video by a commentator named Benny Johnson, who reproduces the most damning testimony on this point. Roger O'Hanley, who just got his Twitter privileges back, added his own perspective. I have a link in the description to his tweet. He says, quote, "Katie Hobbs' lawyers never wanted this evidence public. Well, now it is," unquote, Roger O'Hanley. The official campaign Twitter account put on another tweet, and I have that in the description also. They say that their expert witnesses testified that a standard test of the scanner would have picked up this error, which begs the question, did anybody test those scanners at all? And another witness spoke directly to that high bar. Roving attorney Mark Sonnenklar testified that, quote, "Had there not been tabulator issues in 132 vote centers in this election, well, Kari Lake would have won," close quote. Well, paraphrase. This lawyer also used the word pandemonium to describe what voters went through that day. 2 tweets, and I have links in the description to both of them. Elections Director Scott Jarrett, another defendant, testified that turnout was an historically high 64%. Or was it? Apparently, the recorder's office shifted about 225,000 voters to the inactive category. Now, why would they do that? Commentator Liz Harrington put out a tweet about that, and I have it in the description. I also have a tweet from her containing an embedded video revealing that chain of custody simply did not exist. Workers transported bins of ballots from voting precincts with no attempt to count them. Now, apparently, the Maricopa County attorney made a serious slip. He talked about signature verification. The judge had previously dismissed a count relating to this issue, but by mentioning it at trial, the attorney opened the door. I have a link in the description to a tweet from the Lake campaign explaining that unforced error. County Recorder Stephen Richer made another apparent mistake. He denied having formed a political action committee to oppose Kari Lake. But I have a link in the description to a tweet alleging that screenshots exist of now deleted tweets of Recorder Richard announcing the formation of the PAC. If that's true, somebody simply dredged up those tweets in the Wayback Machine or something like that. Now, how often have you heard me tell you that the Wayback Machine is the historian's friend, or a friend of the court? Trial resumes today, but clearly the defense is at a serious disadvantage. And now I want to tell you at just how serious a disadvantage they are. I am not a lawyer, but I am an experienced officer of election. County clerks of elections do not send out scanner tabulators to precincts without testing them first. And they certainly do not send out ballots printed on the wrong size of paper. The test must be with the same kind of ballot that voters will actually use on election day. Now, at the end of any polling day, the precinct chief or an officer he designates physically counts ballots when retrieving them from the ballot bin beneath the scanner. Now, this bin is locked during the day, and only the chief has the key. Furthermore, the chief runs the tape on the scanner in order to report results to the county clerk. The total vote must match the number of physical ballots in the bin. After that, the officers place the ballots in a corrugated box, label it, and seal it. Then every officer must sign his or her name to every report that will go back to county election headquarters. This includes the tape from the scanner and another printout from the electronic poll book. And again, the total vote must match the number of persons issued ballots. The chief then drives the box and all reports back to headquarters. All of which to say, chain of custody is part of everything that precinct level officers of election do. At least it is the precinct where I work. If they do things differently in Maricopa County, Arizona, that's the problem. In sum, the goings-on in Maricopa County are inexcusable and inexplicable. More to the point, the numbers of ballots involved are in the hundreds of thousands in Maricopa County alone. Kari Lake carried nearly every other county. And again, Katie Hobbs won by 17,177 votes. So I think Kari Lake has met her burden of proof to show outcome-affecting irregularities that happened by intent. Now, whether she has or hasn't, that is for Judge Thompson to determine. Link in the description of the article to Kyle Cheney's tweet hinting at problems at the precincts, which they call voter centers in Maricopa County, Arizona, to the 70-page election contest, to videos of day one of the trial, to the tweet with the images of a good ballot and a ballot with an image that doesn't match the paper, to video of the Benny Johnson segment showing why this is no accident, to 8 more tweets touching this point and the chain of custody point, to my Declaration of Truth Twitter account and to Conservative News and Views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and to rsilverlines.com. As I also mentioned, you know already about how to like a video, turn on notifications, and leave a tip. On the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link to my channel and links to all 3 of the videos I mentioned. This is Terry A. Horrible delivering another Declaration of Truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.